Hi everybody, I'm good to go and I hope you guys are too, because today we're continuing the story of Oz, Kingdom of the Lost. And if you haven't seen part 1 yet, what are you doing? Click right here to watch part 1 so you can get caught up on the story. And for all the people who have seen part 1, welcome back. I've got a brand new video here for you today. So without any further ado, let's dive into issue 2 of Oz, Kingdom of the Lost. The issue starts with Thorne the Lion, and he catches up with the Oz party and helps them in their current fight with the worm creatures. And he says, "What part of stay at home don't you understand? I mean, I try to be a good parent. That's why I quit the life, so I could spend more time with my children. And how do they repay me? By running away, right into trouble, forcing me to climb down to this godforsaken place just to bail them out against these, well, I don't know what these things are." Dorothy says, "Nice job, it's retreating. Now could you help the rest of us?" As we see the Oz party fighting 2 more of these disgusting creatures. Leanne says, "Don't worry, father. We have it from here." But the rest of the team's like, "Yo, speak for yourself. Your help is really needed. The sooner the better." Leon jumps back and says, "Fear not, Dorothy. My sister and I have saved you once, and now we will..." Oh God! Thorne jumps in and saves him and says, "Your hubris will get you killed. Now please just stay back and let me finish the job." We then see Toto and Bartleby get thrown by the creature. Then the narrator says, "A natural-born warrior, Thorne relishes the opportunity to fight again, especially to protect his friends. In truth, he missed the action." As we see him winding up a finishing blow, as he says, "This battle is over!" Well, at least he would have said that if he didn't get sneak attacked by the creature. Maybe he didn't miss that part. Dorothy then says, "They're not fleeing, they're burrowing, looking for their spot. Dorothy, look out!" On instinct, Dorothy conjures a magic shield, bracing for impact. But it doesn't seem like it has any effect. The others freak out because they think the creature's gonna kill her, and then they jump to protect her. We then see Thorne on the ground, and Andraste yells to him, "Thorne, wake up! These damn things keep coming." And Andraste uses the last of her energy to protect her friend Thorne, until he returns! As we see the Tin Man show up and cut straight through this big ass thing. Okay, just hold on a second. The Tin Man was able to just kill this thing when they were just destroying the entire party. The Tin Man has to carry, bro. No wonder why they needed him. And when the party sees him, they're all elated. And he kills all the monsters. Andraste hugs him and says, "Nicholas, you're alright. You don't know how much we've missed you. How did you get down here? How did you come back? Nigga, answer me!" She asks him if he knows who they are, who she is. And Dorothy says, "This is strange. He's obviously alive and definitely aware of us, but he's still not here." They then hear a voice that says, "The Tin Man has gone through a lot, and he's not 100% yet. But I think I can bring him back to his former glory," as we see the Shaggy Man. They ask him who he is, and he says, "Apologies for my rudeness, Dorothy. You can call me the Shaggy Man, and this is my kingdom." You know me? Who hasn't heard the famous Dorothy Gale? The girl from Kansas who became the defender of the Emerald City. He says they're lucky that they found you, because their magic had little effect on her. And Dorothy says, "Yeah, I noticed." She then accuses him of stealing the Tin Man and killing the guards. He says he had no choice because he needed the Tin Man. Oh, okay, great reason. And Thorne feels the same way because he's about to pull out his sword, but Dorothy stops him. The Shaggy Man asks for them to give him a chance to explain, but they should follow him because it's not safe there. The Scarecrow's like, "Should we be trusting this guy?" And Dorothy's like, "Absolutely not. But we need to find out more about Nick. And there's something familiar about this guy." And when they follow him, he says, "Welcome, my friends, to our humble land." They ask who all these people are, and he says that they're all outcasts or prisoners of the Warlord of Oz, brought here to be his slave. And when he disappeared, they claimed their freedom and stayed down there because they had nothing to go back to the service of Oz. And over the years, many more refugees have arrived from all over. The entire party is astonished by the city. And Andraste says, "Wait, how many holes do you have here?" The Shaggy Man says he honestly doesn't know. All he knows is that they all lead to other cities that are on the surface of Oz. Andraste asks where they come from, and the Shaggy Man says that they're all naturally occurring. And when they show up, they dig their way to the other side. Their conversation gets interrupted, however, because they hear an alarm. They ask what that is, and when he's about to answer, he stops short because he hears somebody cry for help. Nick jumps into action and lifts a giant boulder off of some furries. There's a lot of furries in this. No judgment, just pointing out. He picks up his favorite furry. Okay, let me stop. He picks up one of them and they say, "It broke loose, tried to kill us all. It fled when it heard you approaching, but it will come back for us, I know it." The Shaggy Man busts a tear and says this is exactly why I needed the Tin Man. I always strive to keep my people safe from harm, but I can't do it alone. Please, help us. Dorothy's like, help you with what? I don't even know what's going on. He says this kingdom is under attack and innocent people are dying. Isn't that enough? Dorothy says normally, yes, but your sudden concern for innocence screams hypocrisy. And what did he mean by it broke loose? From what? The Shaggy Man says there's no time, and Nicholas starts to head towards the screams. When they ask him what he's doing, the Shaggy Man says he's being brave. This forces the Oz team to go with him because they don't want to lose the Tin Man again. They tell Thorne he doesn't have to come with, but he says this is his fight now. And his kids say they're coming too, against their father's wishes. They tell Nick to wait up and join him on the gondola. And when it's going down, Scarecrow asks, are you sure this is a good idea? And she's like, absolutely not, but hopefully we can get some answers. And when the gondola lands, they see a triangular way out. And when they go through it, they enter a world made out of felt or cloth or something. And this looks cool as hell. There are so many creative ideas that are in this comic. And it's just like, they all work so well. Like, it's crazy. Dorothy, however, isn't excited to be here. She's more focused on fixing the Tin Man and arresting the Shaggy Man. Thorne checks out some rocks, but Bartleby says, be careful, Thorne. Things here may look harmless, but they can be But he stops short when he hears rustling in the forest. Adraste says she doesn't see anything, but there's definitely something out there. As the rustling gets closer, they all prepare themselves, and out pops this cute little guy. Oh my goodness. It comes up to Daksha, and when she tries to pet it, it busts all over her. It transforms and shoots out webbing, I think. I don't know what that is. Well, whatever it is, when Daksha gets wrapped up in it, the others attack and absolutely light up the little guy. And when it falls to the ground, Dorothy says she's tired of this godforsaken place. Scarecrow's like, yeah, I agree. But the fauna seems to feel similarly to us, as we see felt lions approach. Thorne says it's time to go on the offensive, and him and Nick lead the charge. We then see webbing shoot out and it sticks to Thorne. Turns out giant felt spiders got the drop on the team, and they're all webbed up. They all start to panic, but Dorothy tries to keep everybody calm. But then they hear a voice say, how impolite. I haven't even had a chance to play with my new toys. And when Dorothy looks over, she sees the Patchwork Girl, who greets them to her kingdom. We then cut back to Bartholomew in the past, and he's being transported with a bunch of other slaves. He asks where they're going, but he gets interrupted by being smacked by a sword. They're led into a cave, and the Shaggy Man says, at first, entering the vast cave seemed like a refreshing respite from the brutal sun. But the following grueling days, descending further into the treacherous abyss, were even worse. When we finally reached the bottom, I was relieved, but apprehensive towards whatever was coming next. And then I saw it. The Warlord's Fortress. Nestled in this fantastic yet bleak cavern. This was to be my new home. There was so much I didn't know about this strange, hostile world. He then tries to listen to the Warlord's conversation, but gets cracked across the face for it. He gets yelled at and he thinks to himself, I learned my place that day, but I'm gonna turn the table on you one day. As he pours the wine, he says, I know that day would not come for some time. So as the weeks passed, I accepted my role. The Warlord kept him close, as one of his personal servants. That allowed him to get glimpses into his life firsthand. He saw that he has total disregard for life. And you can really tell, because we find out that he's forcing all the other slaves to fight each other. And these men were poorly armed and clearly untrained. These were farmers, not fighters. And we see one of the slaves get the upper hand. The Warlord is like, what are you waiting for? Kill him. And the slave says, I'm sorry, but I can't. And the Warlord gets mad and sets them both on fire. Jesus Christ. Then the weeks turned to months, and he learned how to survive in this brutal realm. Until the day that everything changed. Turns out the Warlord wants to invade Oz, so he's going to be gone for a few months. And Bart is excited. Bartholomew then falls to the ground, and his slaver says, you think because the Warlord is gone you're free? You'll never be free. And he was right. With that device he controlled him. With the Warlord away, he got transferred to the Crystal Mines, and he was there for months with no word of the Warlord. Only that the invasion was not going well. Which honestly good, screw that guy. And quite honestly, he should have been happy. But as long as he's under their thrall, he's powerless and exhausted. But that doesn't stop the slaves from being jerks, because they tell him to get back to work. And he's not going to ask again. Bartholomew says, you're working us too hard, we need to rest. And the slaver says, alright bro, you're dying I guess. When he suddenly gets wrapped up in a yarn. And then the yarn magically turns the slaver into a cloth version of himself. Oh my god, that's a terrifying power. Jesus. Anyway, we see that the patchwork girl is there. And she says, there, doesn't that feel better? Now what are we gonna do with you? And that is where the issue ends. And I gotta say, I'm still vibing with this story a lot. The cloth world is very obviously the best part. I'm very excited to see what this cloth lady's gonna do. She's already scaring me, so everything about this I feel like works so well. I'm very excited for the next issue. That's why if you want me to cover issue 3, get this video to 100 likes. I said 50 last week and you guys absolutely blew that out of the way. Also, welcome to all my new viewers. You guys really made my week last week, so thank you guys so much. You don't know how much that means to me. But that's all I have for you today. If you guys want me to cover any other comics, let me know down in the comments below. I saw Warhammer, The Jungle Book, and Robin Hood, so I might just put a poll out there and see what you guys want to see more. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye now.